maybe that's why they're going around the world to receive training. So sometimes
Learning also.
yeah, go to the far-flung areas. Go to Oceania. Maybe get to New Zealand and see if you can learn something from their parliament, because they have a very.
I think
How to do it. So
Yeah,
if they
true.
ever end up in the Maldives, that would just be
also other headlines on the New National Star this morning. I found the page where that story is on, the ambassadorial appointments. So let me just read you from the New National Star this morning. Quote and unquote, according to the New National Star, the Nigerian government has started the screening process for candidates nominated to represent the country in various diplomatic missions. The move is aimed at filling the numerous vacant positions in Nigeria's 76 embassies and 22 high commissions. As part of the thorough vetting procedure, nominees have been directed to go to the closest Department of State Services office for security checks. To support comprehensive background checks, some nominees have also been required to submit their individual, educational, and professional record. Former Southeast governors Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi and Okezie Ikpeazu have already gone through the screening process for diplomatic positions. Are you serious? As former governor Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State. Okay.
a great man.
A very one. Very, very great at that. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu also.
Another great man.
I thought
Exactly.
I thought these two people were in the PDP.
The thing is, it would be nice for Nigerians
Politics
to
is
accept.
changing. This is, you know, it's okay.
We wish them all the best. We hope they can deliver on their mandates, because it's about mandates in this dispensation.
So the New National Star says this information is according to a trustworthy source, and that's information about Southeast governors, former Southeast governors Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi and Okezie Ikpeazu, you know, having already gone through the screening process for diplomatic positions. Now, the list of nominees who have finished their vetting also includes former presidential advisor Rino Mokri and Shehu Sani, a recent addition to the All Progressives Congress. Additionally, former Lagos State Deputy Governor rather, Femi Pedro, and former Aviation Minister Femi Fani-Kayode have been vetted and cleared for their potential diplomatic assignments. I think the much more interesting name on that list is Femi Fani-Kayode. Reno Mockery, I mean, I saw it coming with, the way he's been going.
On X, yeah.
The way he's been going, sounding all sweet for someone who, prior to the election, sounded against the person of President Bola Tinubu at the time when he was candidate of the APC. Seeing Reno Mockery switch is interesting. But then, more interesting.
But not surprising.
Not surprising, because,
not surprising at all.
two of them on that list. Next time.
The thing is, if you followed politics in a long while, actually white isn't what we see as white when you look at science. So maybe they're coming from that.
Said, when you move, no matter the sin you've committed, when you move over to our side of the divide, your sins are forgiven.
It's a clean slate.
Sometimes it's salvation is key in the political space.
I see.
If you have not received salvation, then you need to ask yourself questions.
Nigeria's debt rises by 47 trillion naira to hit 144.67 trillion. Well, if you want to find out how much, because in the end, we're all going to pay these debts one way or the other. Every citizen of the country, we're all going to pay. So just divide by a rough estimate, 200 million, and you find out how much you're going to have to pay personally.
How much is a kidney?
No, there's a first step first. You have to test to be sure that yours is okay.
Yeah, I'm
that
sure
that you've not mismanaged both of them.
I'm sure it's very okay.
When we find out, only a scientific test will tell us.
47 trillion.
Yes, Nigeria's debt has risen by 47 trillion naira. It's now at 144.67 trillion naira. Okay. Nigeria to take delivery of 24 units of M346FA fighter aircrafts effective May 2025. I like it. You see how much is going into dealing with criminality, insurgency, defending the territorial integrity of Nigeria. It's amazing. Let it translate to results. That's it for me, basically. But that's about the match from the new National Star this morning. If any of them catch your attention, you want to share your reaction, join us here. You know the numbers already. 0705-597-9997. If you call that number right now, you'll be live on the show. If you also call 0705 599 9997, you would be live on the show. If you send a message to that number also via WhatsApp, you'll be live on the show. So there's many ways to join us this morning. You can send an SMS to 0705 599 9997. We'll take your message here. Let's move on to some other papers, guys.
Right, we've got on the Vanguard.
Because how does this happen without anyone in the intelligence community getting wind of it and being proactive to stall an occurrence like this? Is it possible that the DSS did not get or gather intelligence? Is it possible that the police did not get or gather intelligence? Is it possible that the army, has security architecture, right? Is it that somebody got intelligence and did not share with relevant security bodies to stall this, to make sure it never happens, right? I said before that until we as a country, until Nigeria gets to a point where people are held accountable for failure when it comes to their responsibility, right? There is a divisional police station in all of these areas where this thing happened. Do you understand? Across different areas. It was on a news bulletin this morning. So if you go back there, let me take you back to that story. Let's just look at it for a bit so that we get an understanding of what it is and what is being talked about. Yeah. Just pardon me for a bit. Okay, I think I'm almost there. Okay, so you look at areas like Rui, Horti, Tadai communities, all of that in Bokos local government, and then you look at Manguna and Dafel villages, where lives were lost, properties were destroyed. Are you saying that across all of these areas, the DSS did not get information of something being planned prior to this happening? The police in that area did not get intelligence of something like this happening or planning to happen? Who was arrested? How did this happen, even if it happened simultaneously? How did it happen across all of the areas? What was the response time of security agencies? So you see, when you hear conversations from our security agents and you hear that the biggest problem is that the people do not trust the security agencies, my question is always, have you done things that will earn you the trust of the people? Do you understand? Have you done things that will earn you the trust of the people? The governor of Plateau State is coming out to say, oh, it's a genocide.
He says
Himself. I know very well that governors get, for want of exaggeration, up to the minute intelligence report, especially when it has to do with security within their domain. So the thing is, did he suspect that this was going to happen? Did he get intelligence? Did he act on the intelligence? Did he give instructions?
if he
Declaring a state of emergency on.
because it doesn't look
On
like he has a
security?
grab.
How they plan to remedy the situation for those who
Exactly.
lost their lives, those who are injured, what's going to happen with them, and how many of the perpetrators of this have been caught up until the last person is picked up.
People get fired for things.
Do you understand? So again, it's back to the question: what was the intelligence community doing? In Plateau State, for instance, I'm sure that there is an
52
army
persons
formation.
killed.
There's an army formation there. There should be an Air Force formation there. Let's not talk about the police, right?
Mm.
The DSS is there.
I think there's
So-
also another security.
Of them.
Yeah.
And then communities are sacked. Lives are lost. Properties are destroyed. In a state where the governor swore by the Constitution and by whatever faith that he holds dear and believes in to protect lives and properties. Right? So what's happening there?
And then what was the response in the course of this? What was
So
the
beyond
response?
beyond from there.
Mm.
So the question is, are we a country of when this kind of thing happens, we find very big, nice words and act like we're crying? Manage to pay condolence visits. If we do pay condolence visits to those who are affected, to the communities, maybe make it as political as possible, put cameras everywhere, make it a fanfare, right? And then it's gone. And we count, just like we've counted, 52. It looks like we're ticking a tally somewhere. We forget that it's human lives.
52 is a ginormous figure.
Down
But,
on those who were behind this.
this
They
is
shouldn't be able to eat or drink water peacefully.
This is the sort of situation you would expect the executive to have their top men there, either the president or the
lives. So you see how painful it is when you hear statements like this. The presidency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has vowed to bring to justice the gunmen behind this recent attacks. In any other part of the world, you would have heard that the president has cut short whatever trip it is and is back in the country.
No, the thing is, what he
To stay on top of the situation and deal.
What he's doing outside the country is equally important. It's a 2-week business trip to bring investments to the country.
Don't you
growth.
need the people to be alive for those
Exactly.
investments to even matter?
Why should they matter when there's more business to be done? Is he going to go himself and hold those farmer headers people and get to the root of it? He's not going to do. He has people to do that.
So let me explain.
Why
something.
should he cut his 2-week
Let
trip?
me explain something to whoever cares to listen.
There's a vice president.
Let me explain something to whoever cares to listen. Nigerians did not vote the chief of army staff. Nigerians did not vote the chief of defense staff. Nigerians did not vote the IGP of police. Nigerians did not vote the commandant of the NSCDC or the DG of the DSS. Nigerians did not vote any of these people. Nigerians went to the poll in 2023 to vote President Muhammadu Buhari. He stood on the podium at the
2023?
Eagle Square.
2023, President Tinubu.
President Tinubu, rather.
Yeah.
President Tinubu, pardon me. I don't know why it's still in my head. But yeah, I mean. But Nigerians voted President Tinubu in 2023. He stood on the podium when he took the oath of office and swore to protect the lives
Yeah.
of Nigerians. So, is it not worrisome? Is it not worrisome? Who should be first on the line to respond and address and deal with? How do you show the people that have voted you that they matter, that they mean anything to you, that you care about them? And that's why I said, in any other part of the world, you will just notice how the president, no matter how important that trip was,
Cut it short.
will cut that trip short and return to be on top of the situation, to show that he cares, at least
Exactly.
empathy, at
Exactly.
least, emotional intelligence.
I mean, first of all, show up to make a statement.
Do you understand?
Do that first.
Be breathing down the necks
How furious you are.
I see.
You can scream.
I see.
There's,
In
it's,
fact,
it's all about the face.
in fact, right now I can see it. Even
Yes.
without a video call, I can see Mr. President's face.
He must be disgusted about this decision because
About which? The show or
the situation in Plateau State.
I
Because
thought it was the show.
if not for that trip to France to secure
The business
astronomical business,
it would
to-
never have happened.
he would have been there to make sure all these things are nipped in its bud. It doesn't happen again. So business trip for 200 million Nigerians. Because you look at it, this is just 52 people, and you have over 200 million Nigerians who are in need of